what is the proper age gap that is unacceptable and acceptable?
Unacceptable?
Yes. You said that's 4 years, 14 and 18.
Well, he's also like, he was 18
Okay.
and I was 14.
Okay.
That's weird.
And you guys know what happened at prom, right?
No business. I mean, if you're older,
I personally think it's weird if like let's say 40-year-old is dating like a 25-year-old because what do you have in common? Like you guys are both in different stages of your life.
Okay.
You know, that's just weird. Or if you're like 21 and they're like 35.
Okay.
It's weird.
can I elaborate?
Go ahead.
Okay, so my parents were like almost 20 years apart.
Okay.
Right? And like, yeah, it's weird. But I feel like they had a lot in common because they were both farmers and stuff. But yeah, I can see it being interesting to look at. My dad was 43 when I was born. My mom was 23. Yeah, 20 years.
Well, I'll say like, I feel like the perception is like, oh, like this guy is too old for this girl, or this woman is too, old for this guy. But like, if we're legally, like, if everything's legal, like obviously, like you have the ages, like you can't date like a 16-year-old if you're like 30. But if we're over the age of 21, let's just say that, I think age doesn't really matter if you guys are happy and you guys have the same interests.
Yeah.
Because my cousin got married recently,
Okay.
and there's a big age difference.
What is it?
I don't really know, but I've seen pictures. It's more than a 10-year difference. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Maybe pushing 20-year difference.
Okay.
And I mean, if she's happy and they have the same interest, they love being with each other, I don't think I would care.
Okay.
It's just the perception that from the outside looking in, like, oh, it's weird that, they're 20 years apart. Like, but in the end, like, who cares, right?
All right. Erica.
Agree with
Yes.
that.
All right. So I'm 32. Is it acceptable for me to date a 21-year-old?
I think it's kind of weird.
Why?
I don't know. What do you have in common?
That's ageism right there.
Yeah,
That's
like-
ageism,
like-
Erica.
All right. I'll explain it to you.
It's like predatory to me.
You think it's predatory?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You can say that.
You can say that. I'm like, what? I'm looking at you like, what? How's that predatory?
They're so young.
Okay.
They just are able to drink.
All right. This is my stance on it. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, guys, okay? And you guys disagree if you guys want. So as generally, in my experience, as women get older and get towards their 30s, there comes a lot of drama. There just comes a lot of stuff you just don't want to deal with. The older you get, I mean, it's on me too, I've been through a lot of stuff. And there's some stuff that, fortunately, I don't have any baggage. Like, I don't got no crazy nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to worry about nothing. I ain't got to sleep with one eye open. Like, you guys know what I mean? Okay. In me playing devil's advocate, if I was to date, say, a 21-year-old, the reason why I would want that is because I want that clean slate. I want the feeling of knowing that I don't have to worry about all this history coming up on me. Do you know what I mean by that? And usually when you go younger, you're less likely to face that. Yes, they may not be as mature, but then also you think about guys mature. They say guys mature slower than women. So if you're 21, it probably takes like someone in the late 20s to be in the same maturity levels as you, right? So, and also our brother has told me this like a month ago. Women, y'all like when you're younger, you just have more energy. Like, I'm 32, but I feel like I'm still like 27, 25. Like, I can go. Like, if I want to, I can go.
All right, let's go to Echo Stage right now.
I'm down to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to go, I can go.
Okay.
And I don't need to be like caffeinated out like the wazoo or some of that. Like, I feel younger now than I did when I feel exactly the same when I felt when I was 26, 27. And I would want a younger woman to basically accompany me and make those memories,
Make you feel young.
Not really make me feel young, but like keep up with me. That's what I mean. Because I've noticed like there's some people like as like women as they get closer to 30s, not all, just some, maybe more, I don't know. when they start hitting that mark, they looking for that ring. They trying to settle down. They looking for kids. And I speak about this because I like, especially with like my cousins and my sister, they're all like, when they all hit 30, they not about that like fun life no more. They not about that traveling. They want to get it down. They want to get married. They want to have kids. They're not about having fun no more.
The eggs are a ticking
Exactly.
time bomb.
Them eggs are screaming. Right? My big, who I recently went to a wedding with, she's my age, and she's been texting me for the last 3 years. When she turned 29, she said, "Little, I need this ring now." Granted, she has a man. She says, "I need this ring now." Connie, if you're hearing this, I'm talking about you.
I saw the photos.
Yeah, so she's been telling me since she was 29. She says, "My eggs are screaming." She says, they're talking to me at night when I sleep.
But it's true though, because like the older girls get, like the higher risk of
Okay.
like Down syndrome, like things like that. Yeah, it's like it's a literal time bomb. So once girls like hit 30, they're like, all right, like I have X amount of years left to produce,
Yes. Okay. And to elaborate on that,
reproduce. I mean,
Erica, there's another reason why this is another reason why I would not date like someone my own age group. It's because generally speaking, I don't want to be rushed. I have no problems with marriage, right? I tell people this all the time. If I were in a long-term relationship right now, and I was dating a girl right now, and I felt it was right, I am ready to get married right now, like today, like tomorrow. I'm ready for it. I would have no qualms with that. But at the same time, I'm not. I don't want to be dating somebody for only 6 months, 1 year before I have to propose. I don't want an ultimatum, someone telling me or forcing me for that ring. I want to do it when it feels right.
But not every person like around your age is like that, though.
I don't know. And speak like that's why I say I'm talking about like me dating women my own age.
Yeah.
Like I've dated women in like their 30s, and every single one of them put pressure on me. They looking for that. Like when they want, like this is like usually they were like 29, 30. Like after a couple months, Brad, you've seen like some of those. I always tell you, it's like, why? And I was like, listen, I didn't want that pressure. I didn't want that pressure. Like I'm down with it. Like let me go on my own pace. I'm not saying that like I'm gonna take like 10 years. Like when they ain't 20, like I'm not gonna take 10 years. But at the same time, you can't expect me to like get you that type of like lockdown that quick. Let me go on my pace, and I'll let you know when I'm ready. And that's why to me, I would go younger.
Yeah.
That way,
see that.
you know what I'm saying? That way I feel like I got time and I can go at a nice organic pace.
I think if the girl is like emotionally mature, and I don't really see an issue with it. But if she's just like, you guys have to be on both the same page. You can't just be dating a 21-year-old and she's just like has no direct, like I mean that's for guys too. Like if a girl dates younger.
Okay.
As long as you guys are on the same page.
Yeah, I think if you guys are on the same page, because just imagine like you're not on the same page. I've known somebody who's been in that same situation where the girl was basically forcing him, like forcing his hand, and
She was 30. She was 30, right?
Yeah. It led to animosity. They weren't on the same page. Like one wanted to have kids, one wanted to be married, one was not ready for that. Like I think it just leads to bad blood and animosity in the relationship. And like I feel like obviously like I'm already married, but I feel like at some point early on when you guys are in a relationship or talking or whatever you want to do, there has to be a certain like feel or like an actual talk about like, hey, like I want to be married at, I feel like all women have that age, like, oh, I want to be married at this age. Like I feel like guys don't have that, but we know like oh,
You never
like,
had that?
I think it's time.
You never had that? You never had like a goal in your mind?
Nah.
I know Jay didn't.
Yeah,
I don't. You never did?
No.
Did you guys have?
Oh,
did you have
for
a goal?
sure.
What's
I
your-
literally thought I would have kids by like 25.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I mean, okay, I preface this. My small town, everyone has kids like out of college basically. And they move back. So, and like my mom had me at 23. So it was just like, that was what I was, okay, well, maybe that's going to be me. I'm going to be married by the time I'm out of college. I'm going to have kids before 30. Now I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm chilling.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny to look back. I'm like, that was my goal. Like, that makes no sense.
I don't think that was ever my goal, like to get married at a young age.
It was never your goal. You never had like oh, I want to be married by this time.
No, because I was dating someone for like almost 5 years in high school too, and I never like.
Oh, so you just like them long relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I got a question, Jesse. Why do you think you have that goal in your mind? Like you said, I didn't, but there's a reason for that. Is partially I didn't even know that mom was 30 when she had me. Basically,
Yeah.
I did not do that. I thought I didn't know what age mom or dad both were when they had me. So I had no idea. I have no general idea of like timeline at all. Like I didn't realize like you know all the things you broke down. Like yeah, when someone's 30, they want this. When they want marriage, yada yada yada. I'm like I didn't even know people moved at those timelines. Like whenever we go to marriages and stuff like that, I didn't even know how long they dated. I don't even know how old either couple is. I don't know how old they are when they have their first kids. So it's not like I have a mental idea like, yo, I'm like hitting that point where they were at and I need to have kids or I need to get married or I need to do this. Like I didn't have that. So what made you get that? Were you like, when we were like 15 and we went to marriage, you're like, hey, cuzzo, how old are you? All right, bet. Let me write that down real quick. Like, how did you come up with that?
It's the typical child order theory. Since you're the youngest child,
Yeah.
you got through life not thinking about these type of things.
Yeah.
You know, they say that usually the youngest child within the family lacks direction, lacks decisiveness. You know, so you just going with the flow, just like you go your entire life. And usually, being the middle child, you're the most independent. You're most thinking. You're on the higher track, or like you're like kind of on a different track than say the younger child, right? I actually, as a guy, had a date in my mind since I was probably like 17, 16, that was going to be the age that I was going to get married at. I
What
knew.
age?
What do you guys think it was?
17.
I like when I was 16 or 17 years old, like in high school, and even before I started dating, I had a date in my mind at the time that I wanted this to be my wedding date.
At like when you were 17?
When I was like, sometime it was like around when I was 16, 17, and like the very first girl I ever started talking to, like I didn't see her in that way, but it was like as I was thinking about these type of things, because I'm like a deep thinker and I think about everything. Anything and everything I'll think about it. So I thought about marriage and everything, even when I was in high school and all this stuff. And in my mind, I had a date in my mind already set in stone for the last 15 years. What was going to be my wedding date? Any guesses what it is?
November.
A date?
A date.
A date. There's an exact date that I was going to get. That was like in my future. I was like, this is the day that I am going to get married on.
September 26th.
Why that date specifically?
You guys got. All right, I'll give you guys you got to think about what type of person Jesse is.
Wait, you know it, right? I told you.
You told me before, but I forget. But I know that the number is meaningful because you got to
It's a meaningful number.
You think of it like this. Jesse's a very, I don't want to say square, but yes, square person.
Square.
Very regimented, right? So you got to think of a number that looks very regimented and square.
11.
Okay, keep working off that.
15.
No, I said keep working off that.
That's a good. Hey, that's a good guess though. 11 and 15 are my favorite numbers.
That's my birthday.
Oh, really?
No, Scorpio.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a month now that's square.
I'll tell you that date has already passed. So that's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream.
How about this? When do you think Jesse turned? Was it when you were 30? When do you think Jesse turned that?
Definitely not happened during COVID.
A COVID wedding?
Hey, those COVID weddings were something else. I just want to say that.
January.
No, you were right. It has 11 in it though.
Yes, that's why I said keep working off that.
Actually,
It's not September 11th.
Actually, I will tell you this: every number is related to number 11.
11, 11?
11, 11? Yeah.
11, 11.
11, 11, 11. Wait.
No, that's
Not when I was 21. It was the date that I would want to get married was 11/11/22.
Oh.
Because 11 stands for that 2 feet, like the person 2 feet was standing, and you combine together to become 2 and 2.
And then 2022.
Oh,
Oh,
smart.
that is smart.
Yeah.
Hey man, just live another 100 years. You can
Yeah.
you get
You
it.
hear what I'm saying,
21,
Brandon?
22.
I think I heard 11/11.
My ideal wedding date that I wanted since I was a little kid was 11/11/22 because 11/11 stands for like your 2 feet you stand on and
Yeah.
you combine together to become 2 and 2. 1 and 1 becomes 2 and 2.
That's nice.
It was a very spiritual meaning too, and it's because Erica, 11/11
You were really like thinking like that at 16. That's incredible, actually.
people think that I'm just like goofball, but I be thinking about this.
Just
Your
like-
brain needs to be studied.
Hey man, dude, they're talking about you can just take your consciousness, download that to something, and just like freeze yourself like 100 years, and then watch 11/11/21/22. Bam, it could happen.
Maybe.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Hey, but that's
freeze
that's a
yourself.
pipe dream. I gotta come with
Walt
with a-
Disney got some competition, bro.
I gotta come up with a new wedding date because that don't pass.
You'll think of something. I'm sure you're like 11 and this, and we get combined together. Then we have a dog in 20 something, or like I don't know.
No. I'm good. I'm gonna let fate take the wheel and go where it goes.